green with the yellow seams and yellow stars on the sleeves for the IRC and Maloney Racing. A winner at Huntingdon just over 2 weeks ago, Henrietta Bay. So this Class 5 race, it's over 3¼ miles. They start the top right-hand corner and they'll be completing 2.5 circuits with 20 fences for them to jump. Beautiful afternoon here, and we'll give you a little show. Tommy Dan is the 11-8 favourite on 3-1 Sharp Note. Henrietta Bay is on 130, 7-1 Melanford, and Wildfire Warrior on 12-1. Just under a minute to post time. Runners arriving down at the start. Well, it's almost time, ladies and gents. The starter's got his flag raised. So they're walking in. Here we go. And they're off and racing. 3¼ miles ahead of them here for the Class 5 NewtonAbbottRacing.com novices handicap chase. Green jacket of Henrietta Bay alongside Sharp Note as they come up towards the first fence. Sharp Note just ahead, but only about a neck between them. And as they settle down, Henrietta Bay has now gone on as they approach the second fence. Melanford is about 4 lengths away in third place. And a bit of a deliberate leap there by Wildfire Warrior, who's in fourth and being ridden along briefly. And looking on at the rear, Gavin Sheehan on Tommy Dan. Here's the open ditch on the track. 2 leaders in the air together. And Wildfire Warrior at the back there. Rather put the brakes on going into that. So he needs to wake his ideas up a little bit. Early days yet, though, as they move down the side of the course towards the water jump here. And it's Henrietta Bay that lands in front. Sean Bowen, who's in blistering form at the moment. Sean leads by 4 lengths then Henrietta Bay from Sharp Note and Mihal Nolan as they come round to the home straight for the first time. Melanford and Nick Schofield about 6 lengths behind in third, then 3 to Wildfire Warrior and Sean Houlihan, and still Tommy Dan patiently ridden by Gavin Sheehan at the back of the field. Just jump that slightly to the right. Tommy Dan on just his third chase start, having won over hurdles last week. On they come to the last fence on the circuit, number 6 on this occasion. And as they took that, there's already about 12 lengths between them. Tommy Dan jumped that a little bit awkwardly, but nothing too serious. But Henrietta Bay is in a good rhythm here, and she's got 2 circuits to maintain it if she's going to collect. She moves away from us now, down towards the left-hand turn, which takes him up the side of the course. Henrietta Bay then by 4 lengths. Sharp Note in second place on second chase start today. Then a break of a similar gap, back 5 lengths or so to Melanford in the black colours. Wildfire Warrior together with Tommy Dan at the back as they come up towards the next plain fence on the side of the course. Again, Wildfire Warrior a little bit slow in the air. He's been off the track for 3 months. Up in trip today for him, and they complete their first circuit, head down the back straight for the second time. And Henrietta Bay continuing to impress by her attitude. Wildfire Warrior, that was an even worse one from him at the back there, at the buckle end there for a bit, Sean Houlihan. He's just beginning to lose touch on the 4 ahead of him. Henrietta Bay, though, got it a bit tight, but she's 4 lengths to the good. Sharp Note. Tommy Dan is 6 or 7 alongside Melanford, disputing 3rd place. Then in 5th, Wildfire Warrior, coming up towards the 10th fence now, which is the open ditch, of course. And as they move towards the turn, Sean Bowen and Henrietta Bay moving sweetly at the head of affairs as they come down towards the water jump for the 2nd time. Jumped it well. In 2nd is Sharp Note, and then in the black jacket you can see Melanford and Tommy Dan. Well, he just was a little bit outpaced at that moment. He's just in 4th. Still a long way to go, and Wildfire Warrior in last place. The 12th and 13th fence is coming up towards them now, and Henrietta Bay's lead is down to about 3 lengths or so. Sharp Note being held together in 2nd place, travelling nicely. Look at Tommy Dan being shaken up then on the inside. He's switched to the rail now, Gavin Sheehan, with Melanford on the outside, Nick Schofield as they scoot over that next fence. Just watching Wildfire Warrior take it, and he does, but he's got 20 lengths to make up on Henrietta Bay. She's going great guns. A circuit to go in this Class 5 Novices Handicap chase. And it's all been about Henrietta Bay so far. Sharp Note has always been in 2nd, and I'm afraid Wildfire Warrior has been pulled up with a circuit to go there before the 14th fence by Sean Houlihan. Another day for him, we hope. Melanford just struggling now as the other 3 begin to open up a gap on him. Doesn't look all that enthusiastic, Melanford, as they move up towards the 14th fence. Henrietta Bay and Sharp Note and Tommy Dan trying to get a little bit closer. And indeed, before that fence, Melanford was pulled up as well. So down to just the 3 left then as they move down the far side for the final time. She still leads, Henrietta Bay. She's up by 4 or 5 lengths now. Jumped it clear. Sharp Note is about 4 in hand then of Tommy Dan, whose jumping's not really taken off today. Coming down to the 16th fence then. Another plain fence here for them. Sean Bowen in control at the moment. Skipped over it nicely. On board Henrietta Bay. Sharp Note, and then the driven Tommy Dan. Now here's the last open ditch, which is 4 out. Coming towards it now, and Henrietta Bay jumped it by about 3 to 4 lengths over the other mare, Sharp Note, in 2nd, who's giving her best and trying to close the gap. In turn, 6 lengths behind is Tommy Dan, who's still labouring. They're moving down towards the water jump. This is 3 from the finish, and the gap is down to 2 lengths now. Henrietta Bay and Sharp Note, who's trying hard to get on terms. So what she got left up her sleeve, this leader. Henrietta Bay on the turn down towards the home straight. Alongside her now is Sharp Note. Sean Bowen and Micheal Nolan are going to battle this out. They've got 2 more fences to negotiate. They're clear of Tommy Dan. Down they come to the 2nd last, and Sharp Note shows ahead for the first time. Goes on by a length. Henrietta Bay, has she got anything left in the tank? Doesn't look as though she has. Sharp Note comes down towards the final fence, leading by a couple of lengths. Comes up towards it now and steadies at it and is over. Clear by about 4 lengths. And Sharp Note here on her 2nd chase start is going to come good for the Seamus Mullins team in the hands of Micheal Nolan. She goes on to win by about 5 lengths. Henrietta Bay in 2nd, and a distant 3rd, then last to finish, Tommy Dan.